Yes, so just we've asked for submissions or of interest, as Anisah has mentioned, and once we've got those, obviously your individual submission is really important in how you frame that, but also the overall structure and the diversity of participants, because our ideal is that we've got people from many different backgrounds. And so when we have our submissions, the next stage is to just take an equity pause, to step back and look at all of the people who have submitted interest, and have a think about whose voices aren't heard and who's missing from the conversation, and what else we might need to consider, or are there other people that we could approach. And so that can still be really wide, because one of the questions on the Jam board is there's a range of topics you can write about as long as it pertains to youth foresight. So again, youth foresight is about you as youth, writing about the areas and passions that you have. So that's when we just step back for a final stage before we say, yes, we'd love you to carry on and start working on your article during the second half of the year. Thanks.
And when we talk about the next stage, well, you have to keep in mind, and what is very important for our special issue, it's not like well, immediate procedure that you submit your paper and then the next day it appears in the journal. For peer-reviewed journals, you have to remember that it takes time, because the process is very serious. I don't want to frighten you with that, but at the same time, you have to take that seriously. Seriously from what perspective? For you, it's a wonderful chance to learn how to have your paper or your essay, because again, remember, you have two options: conventional paper, research paper, and an essay. So for you to publish a piece in that special issue is a brilliant opportunity, because you will go not only through the process of several sessions where we go in, Cheryl and me and Anisah and maybe some other experts in this field help you to sort out your questions, your thoughts, ideas, well, issues with formatting of your paper, structure of your paper, etc. But also you will go through the process of your paper, and this is being reviewed by external experts, some other people. And sorry, being a writer myself, I remember my experience, and I've just realized that I've started writing academic papers a couple of decades ago, but still I have that fear when I submit my paper. What will be the response of a reviewer? And every time when I see the line with the note in the subject that it's from the Journal of Futures Studies or some other peer-reviewed journal, I'm thrilled to open that. What will be inside? And young people, particularly those who are new to the academic publishing field, they kind of scared how my writing would be accepted, what will be the feedback from all these experts and professionals in this or that field. So I have to tell you, you don't need to worry about that. What you really need to, I mean, about the long list of some remarks which you might get as a feedback on your article. For me, actually, the longer the list, the better. It means that reviewer took his or her job really seriously and really immersed into your research. because for future studies, particularly as for any other discipline, you can't bring something new working alone. It's research work is always a teamwork. Whether you embarking in your virtual team, some other authors whose theories you take for as a methodology for your research, or some co-authors or advisors for your paper. It is very important to have a look of an outsider. So I want to assure you that you don't need to worry about the reviewing process. The better it is done, the more successful your paper will be, and the more successful would be the result of your research and you've been published in the journal. So that's my comment.
Right, and you can see the time frame there that we're working towards. And part of our role, Yelena and I, is to mentor you through the process. And one of the questions that was asked by the last group was, can there be a youth peer review process or a safe environment? Some of us feel intimidated by expert future foresight practitioners and experts. We're beginners in many ways and experts in others, just like you. And so part of our job is to make you feel at ease and to work with you to connect the things that you need to have connected and support you in your learning. I see there's a question from you, James.
Yeah, hey, I just the scope seems quite broad for this special edition. So I'm just wondering, I guess, because I'm thinking about pitching myself as a youth foresight practitioner in the public service, looking at alternative extreme heat governance futures for Sydney. So would that be suitable for this journal? Because it's like a young person who's using their knowledge in futures so far to try and enable alternative heat governance futures in Sydney. Is that matching just because it's coming from a young person?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that will be really, I as a trainer at the Academy of Public Administration under the president of Kazakhstan and conducting courses for civil servants in Kazakhstan, promoting future studies through this way, I would be very much excited to get your ideas, your thoughts, to see your paper, because future of governance and governing, that's what we should talk about. Your perspective would be very much appreciated and well welcomed, really.
I've actually already submitted it last week, so I'm just here to kind of get any other information that might be available. So yeah, let's see how we go.
So yes, I think just to follow on, it is relevant. So some people might be working with other youth or taking it from a youth perspective, but others, like your submission, is about the particular area of interest that you have, and that's a really useful passion that is useful for your own work as well. So it's we want to help you to develop your own thinking about the areas of passion that are relevant for you. So go ahead, I think it's great.
Cool. All right, thank you.
There's also a question about the June deadline, main idea, sections and findings. So for the submission initial statement of interest, that I'll put it in the chat again, but when you go to the submission documentation, you only have to submit a little bit of information about your idea. You're not expected to have done the research or to have got it to a final stage, because our first job is to look at the submissions after closing date. So on that, there is the basic information about your context, etc. But on the second page, it's really just a little bit of information about what questions you're thinking of asking, and what your topic might be, and a little bit of the context and how you'll use some of the futures studies, methodologies, etc. So it's really, really simple in answer to that question. You don't have to have the findings and results yet. You don't have to have those ready by the end of next month. So that's all good.
Yeah, so if I may add the feedback for James, like James said, it's a conceptual paper, right? You have not done the research. So it's the idea of how you can approach this, is it? Yeah, so
That's
it's
the
a
idea.
conceptual
Yeah.
paper. Yeah. So yes, that's doable as well. Like we do accept conceptual paper. You just have to make it clear, yeah, saying that this is a conceptual paper